Welcome back, everyone. This is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker, coming to you with some new housing data, looking at some reports that just came out. Actually, there have been quite a few that came out recently. So this is one from Redfin here, talking about measures of home buying competition are plateauing as early stage demand posts its biggest annual decline since April of 2020. Also, kind of the main headline of this housing market update, nearly 1 in every 5 sellers is dropping their price, the highest rate since October of 2019. So if you kind of look through this report I was reading, this was kind of interesting here, some leading indicators of home buying activity. So this is saying here that new home, like homes for sale on Google, are down by 13%, which is actually important to measure because that's sentiment, right? That people think it's a good time to buy a house. The seasonally adjusted Redfin Home Buyer Demand Index, a measure of requests for home tours and other home buying services through Redfin agents, was down 12% year over year, making ending May 22nd. This was the largest decline since April of 2020. Touring activity from the first week of January through May 22nd was 29 percentage points behind the same period in 2021, and mortgage applications were down 16% from a year earlier. I also found this chart here, which was interesting. This is share of homes for sale with a price drop in April of 2022 compared to share of homes for sale with a price drop in 2021. Also kind of what the median price is for that area, and then the appreciation that has been in those markets. So for instance, let's take the one off the top here, Boise. It's saying in April of, for the last 2 years, they've had an appreciation of 61.6%. In April of 2021, they had 10.1% of their properties do price drops. This month here, this last April, it was 40.8%. You can see like Cape Coral in Florida. So the price drops you can see are starting to go up where sellers are in a lot of markets where they hadn't been agreeing to lower their price some. When you look here in Orlando, you can see it's been pretty steady. The appreciation's been through the roof like everywhere, 41.8% over the last couple of years. But they're saying that 23.3% there were price drops in April of 2021, 24.4%. It's really not a big change there, at least here in our market, but that means across the nation, though, some sellers are starting to lower their prices. And I thought this was a good leading indicator here with new home construction. This is from the Census Bureau. And they were showing, you can see right here, in January, beginning of the year, there was, I believe these are in millions, there was 831 million new home sales put under contract. And you can see that number has been steadily declining, obviously as rates really get impacted here in April. And now that's down to 591. That's a 16.6% decrease from year over year. From last month, and a 26.9% decrease year over year from April of 2021 last year. And of course, why is all this happening? Obviously the big reason is interest rates. If you're going to go buy a car, even if the price of the car goes up a little bit, if the payment goes way down, people buy on payment. Right now, you kind of have the worst of both, where median price is still drifting up and the price is going up exponentially as far as the payment goes. If you look at a $350,000 mortgage, so here's a site from Mortgage News Daily, give you an idea where rates are at today, and I'll link to a video on how to actually shop rates. But this just gives you a general idea because there's so many different rates for different credit scores and things. But 5.25% is what they're saying the national average is for a 30-year fixed rate loan, which is 2% higher than what it was. So on a $350,000 mortgage, that payment's about $400 a month higher. So that keeps, with prices drifting up, that keeps pushing affordability, making affordability worse, making those payments higher, which is definitely going to cool off demand. So what about here in Central Florida? Okay, so you can see here in our market, I'm in the Central Florida market, homes really only increased by 133, now currently sitting at 2,518 homes. That's effective through May 21st. So really no big impact at all as far as increase in inventory. So there's a couple things to know. One, I have a friend that lives in Muskegon, Michigan. I lived there many years back, and I was talking, and they were saying that really there's not been a real estate boom in that part of Michigan. So where you live at matters. Obviously certain areas in Florida, we have been shielded with tourism, People moving here for all kinds of economic factors. People can, work in, stay out of a different place, but live here and pay less taxes and those kinds of things. So that has always really helped Florida. My opinion, though, is increasing rates and those things are definitely going to impact all markets. Again, though, I think Florida has some advantages. Markets like Texas and Florida and those that you hear about, just because economically they're great places to live in general as far as weather and all the other kind of stuff. Love Florida. So as this pendulum goes from one of the most red-hot real estate markets of all time and it's swinging the other direction, these are things you're going to see. You're going to see sellers start lowering some prices. You're going to see increased inventory. New home constructions aren't going to be as crazy. And hopefully if you're a first-time home buyer or even just a regular buyer, you'll be able to get into the game where instead of maybe competing against 10, 15 buyers, you can get to some kind of a normal market as this pendulum swings the other direction, where you could do an FHA loan or VA loan. A lot of these buyers have really had to sit on the sideline for the most part. So if you thought this information was useful, like it, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions on this or anything else, let me know. As new information and data come out, I'll let you know. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.